that clinic, I paid for it. So by leasing over 11 years. I feel bad for my patients that they don't have the service that they needed after being diagnosed with cancer close to home, so there is no radiation facility close to their home, and now they are forced to go somewhere else. That somewhere else is my clinic in Belleville, or the other clinic also in Belleville, my clinic in Breeze, or the other clinic in Alton. So unfortunately, Maryville area and the surrounding area, they don't have radiation facility at the present time.
And you said that they won't be ready to provide that service for about 6 months because the equipment is so heavy and expensive and hard to get up and running. It's going to be well into next year before they can provide that service at the hospital in Maryville?
Right. So they prefer to wait for 6 to 8 months to put the new equipment in, and it takes that long to get the machine running and commissioned for the service they can provide.
And you had a verbal agreement with them, which...
Yeah. I had a verbal agreement and understanding with the administration of the hospital, but it is not in writing, that when initially talked, that when I am ready to slow down or retire, the hospital will come and buy my clinic. But they didn't do it that way, so they denied, and they want me out completely.
As you're doubtless aware, he's upset at having his lease not extended there. Do you have any reaction or comment to him saying that, hey, what's the deal?
Well, first of all, we enjoyed working with Dr. McGahey. He was a lieutenant of the Bill Hart's Cancer Center for actually in total 11 years. He signed a 10-year lease, and at the end of that 10-year lease, so over a year ago, we let Dr. McGahey be aware that we were going to be changing the model of how we were going to provide cancer care there, and so we felt like we were giving him the notice that we needed to in order for him to make other arrangements and plans. So we wish him well, but in the new model that we're working with, we really have to have that space available to provide the radiation oncology services there.
He has told me that there was not a deal on paper, but in his words, an understanding between the hospital and him that the hospital either would take over his practice or would consider swallowing it up into its own. Is that true? Was that ever the case?
There was no commitment for the hospital to do that, and that's really